Have you ever noticed that in your class, a few kids seem to get most of the good grades or get picked for the special jobs? Or maybe in your favorite sport, some players seem to score most of the points or get most attention from the coach? Well, this is kind of like a rule called the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule. It means that in a lot of things in life, about 80% of the good stuff comes from just 20% of the people. For example, imagine you have a garden. You might notice that 80% of your best tomatoes come from just 20% of the tomato plants you have. Let's say you have a bookshelf with 100 books on it. The Pareto principle would suggest that about 80% of the times you read those books, it will be just 20% of the books on the shelf. So you might find that you really enjoy reading just a few of those books repeatedly, and the rest just sit there collecting dust. Similarly, think about the clothes in your wardrobe. You might notice that you tend to wear about 20% of your clothes 80% of the time. This means that you have some favorite outfits that you wear often, while the rest of your clothes stay in the closet. In both of these examples, the Pareto principle is at play. A small group of items, your favorite books, your go-to outfits, are responsible for the majority of the benefits you receive from that category, reading books and wearing clothes. This rule isn't always exactly 80-20, but the idea is that a small group of people or things can have a big impact on the outcome of something. So if you want to do really well in something, it might be a good idea to figure out who those 20% of people are and learn from them or try to be more like them. In many things in life, about 80% of the good stuff comes from just 20% of the people or things. For example, in basketball, just a few teams have won most of the championships, and in soccer, just a few countries have won most of the World Cup tournaments. This happens because of something called accumulative advantage, which means that if one person or thing has slight advantage, it can grow even more and become even better over time. Like a plant that grows taller and taller because it gets more sunlight and rain than the plants around it. So the plants that are slightly better than the others end up dominating the whole forest. And the same thing can happen with people, teams, or organizations. It's like a snowball effect where a small advantage can lead to big rewards. Just like how plants in the rainforest compete for sunlight and soil to grow, people in life also compete with each other for things like jobs, awards, and attention. Sometimes even a small difference in how well you perform can make a really big difference in whether you win or not. For example, in a race, the person who finishes just a tiny bit faster than everyone else gets all the glory and the prize. Or in a job interview, the person who does just a little bit better than the other candidates gets the whole job. This happens because there are limited resources, like the amount of money or time available, and only one person can get it all. So even if you are just a little bit better than everyone else, you can get a lot more than them. The winner gets everything and the rest gets nothing. When people compete with each other, sometimes even a small difference in their performance can make a big difference in who wins. And the winner usually gets a big reward like a gold medal or a lot of money. But what's interesting is that when someone wins once, it can make it easier for them to win again in the future. They might get more attention or more opportunities to improve their skills. And as they keep winning, they keep getting more rewards. This is called the winner take all effect. Over time, the people who keep winning end up with most of the rewards, while the people who don't win often don't get much at all. This is called the Matthew effect. So even though the difference between being good and great might seem small, it can really add up over time. That's why some people, teams, and organizations enjoy most of the rewards in life. Sometimes in life, even small differences can make a big impact. Imagine two people running a race and one person is just a tiny bit faster than the other. That little bit of speed could make all the difference and help the faster person win. Now, if the same two people ran another race and the faster person won again, they would start to feel good about themselves and become more confident. They might even start practicing more and eating healthier to make sure they stay ahead of the competition. Over time, the slightly faster person would keep winning more races and getting more rewards like trophies or medals. This is called the 1% rule. It means that if you can be just a little bit better than others and you keep doing that consistently, you can become the best and get most of the rewards. It's like being part of the 1% of people who are the best in their field or industry. This is why it's important to keep practicing and try to improve, even if it's just a little bit at a time. The Pareto principle, accumulative advantage, winner take all effect, the Matthew effect, and the 1% rule will show How small differences and advantages can lead to big rewards over time. And this applies to many aspects of life, including sport, careers, and personal growth. The key is to focus on improving yourself consistently, even if it's just a little bit at a time. By doing this, you can develop a slight advantage that can grow over time and lead to big rewards. So keep practicing, learn from others. Who knows, you might end up being part of that top 20% who enjoy most of the rewards.